What's up? I'm Benny.
And I'm the Stash.
You're gonna watch Cartoon Theology.
On the X.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Heresy.
What's up, party people? Welcome back to Cartoon Theology. Today we're jumping back into this series we've been doing about the devil and looking at goofy ideas that people have about it. That's basically what Cartoon Theology is all about. It is basically us talking about silly ideas that people have. I guess I shouldn't say silly. Some people actually think these things are true. But we examine them in light of what the scriptures actually say and kind of look at what the Bible says about those things and to kind of decide whether or not they're actually right or not. So, we got a lot to talk about today.
Thank you, Ashley.
Yes, different subjects. We're kind of, today is kind of the catch-all for all the different things about the devil that you might take and wonder. We're titling this one, can the devil really make you do that? Because we have that idea in our society of the devil made you do that, made me do it. And what's the name of that comedian who used to say that all the time?
Oh man,
I can't remember his name. Anyways, there was a comedian who used to say that a lot.
Just now we have a movie brand new that's The Devil Made Me Do It. So you know.
Oh really?
It is culturally accurate.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know anything about that movie. So all right.
It's a fun horror film.
So-
I wouldn't recommend it.
It's a fun horror film that you wouldn't recommend. Then how is it fun?
It's not fun.
Did you watch
It's not
it?
fun.
Oh,
It's
okay,
completely
all right.
satirical.
You didn't watch it with me.
Okay. So, all right. So, who's got the first question we're going to talk about today?
You want to go first? Want me to go first?
I'm gonna let you go first.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. No, I'll go first. That's fine. Can the devil steal your soul?
Okay. So, and you're giving us the
Went down to
background.
Georgia.
No,
Looking
the,
for
the
a
devil
soul
does
to
not.
steal.
The devil
That's
does
right.
not play the fiddle, as far as I've found in the Bible.
But what's the background of this idea that the devil can steal your soul?
Well, it comes back to contracts. Like it's the devil. If you make a contract with the devil, it's never straight. Like you go to the crossroads, you summon him, and then
You become the most amazing blues guitarist ever.
and then eventually he sends his hellhounds to go and get you. That's the
okay.
idea. But the idea is that like every time the contracts with the devil are never straightforward, and eventually he will steal your soul from you.
Okay.
That is the basis of can he steal your soul? And
Okay.
most people who believe that contracts exist would say yes. And
Okay.
They are.
And did you have some stuff about contracts and where the idea of contracts comes from?
Yeah, kind of. I was gonna say, typically when people like do a contract with the devil, it's usually for personal gain,
Okay.
and there's like obviously no biblical reference to that,
We'll
but.
get to that part in just a minute. But yes.
But
go
you know,
ahead.
like if the idea is like you go outside, do whatever little ritual you're gonna do, and there's many throughout history of people trying to make a contract and
Okay.
for personal gain.
It's
Similar to that,
usually
where
it's usually for like I want to be the best blues
Yeah.
guitarist, or I want to be the best athlete, or
for
something
personal
like
gain.
that.
I'm gonna if I do this, if
Yeah.
I offer you my soul, you're gonna give me wealth, riches, looks, a spouse, whatever it is you want.
Okay.
And if you don't fulfill your end
A
of the
lifetime
bargain-
membership
So
to
how far does that idea go
Book of the
back?
Month Club.
Book of the Month Club. An infinite gift card to Barnes and
That
Noble.
was it from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? It was Jelly of the Month Club.
Jelly of the Month Club.
The gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
The very
Yeah, The
backstory of the Ghost Rider.
well, he didn't actually make a deal. I don't think.
Oh, that's true.
I think he just got possessed.
Oh,
But that's
Okay.
Marvel. It depends on which version of Ghost Rider
Yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah.
That's
That's
true,
not
that's
what we're
true.
talking about. Because
that's true. That's true. There is a version
yeah.
though that happened.
Well, there's one Ghost Rider that's a different demon than all the other Ghost Riders, but that's a whole nother story for a whole other. that's
All right.
That's my.
But obviously, this has seeped into our culture. I mean,
Oh, definitely,
You need
definitely. I
everything
mean-
from the movie Crossroads.
Yeah.
Ralph Macchio. Ralph Macchio. Is that right?
I think it's.
I think
Is it Machio?
Macchio. Sorry,
Macchio.
macchiato. I think is a drink
Macchio.
from Starbucks.
Yeah.
But
You're not wrong.
Ralph Macchiato. Ralph Macchio.
His middle name is Iced.
My God.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, God.
That's amazing.
He's cousins with iced tea. But anyways, yeah, so it comes into that, like we were saying a minute ago, Charlie Daniels, Devil Went Down to Georgia. You see it in a lot of old blues stories about different blues guitarists.
There's a whole genre of blues called Crossroads blues.
Yeah.
And it's all about making deals with demons and the devil at the crossroads.
Or Cuphead, the entire premise of Cuphead.
Really?
And the devil owns a casino.
And they lose their soul.
And they lose their soul because
they bet
they're on
their
a
soul.
roll and they bet their soul. And the entire game is them going back to get their soul from the devil.
That's pretty jacked up.
It's like the devil's like a mafia leader or whatever.
And then they get everybody
Mafia
else's
leader.
soul from like the devil when they win.
Yeah, they have to beat all the devil's lieutenants who gave the devil their souls, and now they're the lieutenants. Yeah.
Wow.
And your last shindig with the devil. when you beat him.
Gameplay wise, it's a fun game.
It is fun. It's like a 1930s.
Beautifully animated.
But at the same time, okay, that to be said, the guys themselves that made the game were not the ones making that principle.
Yeah.
They're pulling off of 1930s cartoons because it was ingrained in the culture even then.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's been around for a long. Well, in the 1930s, I mean, really blues music started taking
Yeah.
off around that time.
You had blues music, you had
There's
Betty Boop, Mickey Mouse, all them.
the Betty Boop.
Yeah.
It's all
It's silent. There's no words. There's no dialogue, but she like goes to hell when she's asleep, basically, because she like lights a fire because it's cold in her house. It's really odd.
Set yourself on fire.
No, she just
ends up like walking down.
goes to hell.
Yeah, it's very weird cartoon.
It's a weird cartoon.
I think
Yeah.
I've watched that one.
I think you showed it to us actually.
Did I?
I think you
So,
did.
Yeah.
I showed you that?
I don't know what the context was.
I think it was when we first started doing cartoon theology.
Yeah, we were looking
Yeah.
at like the
Yeah, we were
imagery and
looking
how
at the
it's-
reason we
oh,
call
okay.
it cartoon theology.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't remember the one about the...
going all the way back. But yeah,
Yeah.
They go. Bringing back cartoon theology.
Yes.
It's that very
That's
principle.
kind of honestly the basis of why we named it what we named it, because you see these things playing out in cartoons so often. I'm trying to think of another cartoon example of that. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
I think
but-
there's one of Courage the Cowardly Dog. That has
Yeah,
the
I
dog
wouldn't be
in it.
surprised if Courage the Cowardly Dog had something like
It
that.
was a weird cartoon,
That was a very weird cartoon.
but it was fun.
It was fun. It was fun, but it was weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, can the devil steal your soul, or steal your soul, or make a contract and steal your soul?
No.
Depends on who you're asking.
No.
I mean,
The
no.
answer is no.
Yes.
I mean,
I have verses.
Well,
True.
give us some more background to people who think that this can happen. I mean,
Okay,
is
so
you
the-
found that this is worldwide, right?
Yeah, so the oldest account in Christian story is, I'm going to say his name really wrong. I'm probably going to let you read it.
Okay.
Theophilus?
Theophilus.
Yeah, that guy. He was a treasurer of the church of Adana, who allegedly sold his soul to the devil around 538 to become a bishop. And that's like the earliest.
Catholic, right?
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
going
it's
to be
in
some
Catholic.
Catholic.
But I mean,
some
that's the
Catholic tradition.
earliest
Interesting.
A lot.
noted
I've
where
heard that.
somebody.
Supposedly did this.
Yeah, and then there's two early Christian theologians, who? Two theologians.
Origin and St. Augustine?
Claim that divination and the practice of magic, like demon pacts, and so that's like the early conversation of a lot of people,
Huh.
There
the talk
are
of magic and
some.
sorcery, and
There are some people who believe that it's a conspiracy theory. So you just bear with me.
Bearing.
But there are some people that would say that there is magic that you can do powered by God as well.
yeah, and so that's
And it's and there are these
Heresy.
and-
And
yes,
this was in
I agree. But there are people who believe that the Catholic
Well,
Church has these
when you-
grimoires locked
so this
up
is like
that give you the secret of magic from God.
in 1227, and I
Well,
mean
that's probably the difference, the idea of being a white witch or a black witch, not racist.
Yeah.
But you
dark
know,
witch. Dark witch.
You know.
And so this,
Or
they were
white
saying
witch.
like this time of like the Renaissance, people doing things,
Yeah.
that all of this was because you had made a contract with a demon. So, and this was in the 1220, in the late 1227,
You know, do we
1250.
know that she's a witch?
So, but this idea
She turned me
of-
into a newt.
But like this idea of contracting and selling your soul, or
Yeah.
doing something in allegiance with the devil or demons or whatever dark power, is becoming more prevalent. And a lot of this was around
Mephistopheles.
the Renaissance, because there's so much
Yeah.
literature and stuff happening during that time, different text. Where
At least you have a lot
kind
more
of-
writing coming out at that
Yeah.
time, so that would make sense. And I think Dante's Inferno, I think, came
Yeah,
out
that's
around
a
that
big
time.
play.
And so, you know, it's deep. So basically,
Yeah.
we can say the history of this idea is
It
very,
is
very deep
really
and very, very long.
Old
I
history.
would really like to check the reference to Origen and St. Augustine on that. But I wish they
They-
quoted where they got that from.
Yeah, because they were saying that they claimed that divination and magic and sorcery required demonic pacts, that you couldn't do these things, And I think it's just that idea of these.
Demon worship, sure, I'll give you that. And, you know, an allegiance maybe to the devil, I'll give you that. But as far as a pact where, like, you're making a deal with the devil, you know, I don't know about that. So, but anyways, go ahead.
No,
so it's just deep. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
deep,
deep,
and
you know,
you got
and-
like 40 pages of
Yeah, dude,
possible
it's like, it's
research there.
crazy.
I
Well,
think
I've
there's
printed
actually
it from
3 pages.
It's only 3. And it's like, where,
And just so you
it-
know, we went to a cult world to find that out.
yeah, crazy stuff.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not my favorite place to research.
No.
I mean, but it's
Don't
even
recommend
this ideal, like penetrating into like a biblical of them saying that King Solomon,
Which we know that's not true.
No, but
No.
Yeah.
I mean, of course not.
Well,
But
'cause
this.
Well, you know, you want to take and try to take and claim that so you can take and lead credence to what you're saying.
Like he had
You
he
know.
was the wisest and smartest,
Yes.
and that was
Yeah.
gifted by God.
Yeah.
Their
And-
man view, the worldly view is trying to say, oh, that there's no way that was done divinely by
it's
God.
funny that you say that, yeah, and
That
that's
it's-
the hilarious part of
Yeah, and it's like it was a genie,
it. Yeah. Yeah,
a
we don't want to take and
actually-
believe in God whatsoever. We
No.
believe that you can rub a lamp and a genie will pop out and
It's
you'll
not-
never have a friend like him.
it's not
I
a
mean, you know,
genie.
next thing you know, your monkey's an elephant and you're flying on a flying carpet. You know.
It is a djinn. It's not a genie. Okay.
Whatever.
A djinn is the source material for a genie, but it is a different entity.
No, it's a genie.
Our audience
tangent.
probably
A gin
knows
is a
Robin
type of
Williams.
whiskey
Small tangent.
that you get from Kentucky.
No,
Okay.
that's
Wait,
that's
wait.
that's
Small
G
tangent.
that's GIN. This is
just messing with
DJINN. But no, well here's the thing.
I'm literally about to spit
Why
together
were
my
you
nose right
spinning
there.
a record? That didn't make any sense.
DJ. I'm sorry. I
I'm
thought
just-
that's where you were
well-
going with it. I'm sorry.
No.
Anyway.
No, I'm just.
So
There's a lot of people who believe in jinn also believe that they can contact spirits with technology, or that Bigfoot is a real thing, or that aliens
Spiritual
actually.
technology. Okay. I'm just saying the idea is what is that like
Well, they have these.
Jesus has a record player? I mean
No. They can contact spirits with technology.
Oh, with
Kinda like-
okay.
But they-
okay.
Like Ouija boards.
Well, that's not
and-
technology. That's.
Well, I mean,
supposedly-
okay, 100 years ago when they didn't have internet, that was the
Oh,
coolest
that's
thing
true.
they had.
But they have these electromagnetic things.
Oh
that
yeah,
apparently
you're
allow
talking
them
are
to-
you
like-
talking about
like
the
the
two little metal
Ghostbusters.
rods where they're like,
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
and it's just two
Like
metal.
Ghostbusters.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
that
there's
makes sense. Yeah.
the only reason I know a lot is because I like good comedy, and so I go watch this show called Paranormal Caught on Camera.
Is it like the Ghost Hunters and Ghost Hunter
Yeah.
International? They're like-
Basically, and they
I
go
love-
around
I love
and they're
the
like
ones-
and they act they're so professional. Like sometimes a spirit will like try to reach out to you across the veil. Oh, will it?
These guys are probably the same guys who are hunting Bigfoot, right?
If
they're
you've never watched those shows, it's all, I've
See,
seen so
that's
many
what-
where they're
One
like,
day,
there was
man.
nothing there.
this
One day.
20
show.
seasons.
think we were looking for a squatch. I think we heard one.
Well, here's the thing: the show Paranormal Caught on Camera has all of these experts review these videos that are being shown and then give their professional opinion.
Yeah.
on it.
There's a whole interesting argument about Catholicism in here I'll talk to you about later. Because
Okay,
a lot of it is
all right.
about, like, when you do these contracts, like the Virgin Mary will come and like save you.
Oh.
It's a coin flip, probably not. But in
But
case
if
the deal goes south,
if you give enough money
might.
to the Catholic Church, you might be able to buy your way out.
Yeah, and Virgin Mary will just come running in and save you, and that was the medieval Renaissance period belief.
Well, I mean, historically, she's not a virgin anymore.
That I think probably goes.
I mean, Jesus had siblings, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He
So-
did have siblings. You're correct.
That is true.
So,
Just saying.
Brother James.
preach it. When you take and consider, so you say it's coming from the Middle Ages. Consider the fact that in the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church was in the process of selling indulgences, which basically was send all you want card. Basically, you give the church $20 or whatever, and then you can take and go fornicate
Or
for
like
the night,
you
know,
like
or-
spend
and
$20
so-
and your dad can go to heaven or something like that, right?
Well, that's different. That's getting people out of purgatory. But no, this was like literally like, hey, here's $20. I'm going to go see my mistress tomorrow night. Okay. And okay, thanks for the money and you're forgiven. Ahead of time. It's kind of like that. And
So do they have a little money slot in one of those confession booths?
I don't know. It's an ATM card reader.
you go.
Does this take tap? I don't know.
You
But-
get one.
I'm gonna go sin, put it on my tab.
Sin
but
tab.
honestly,
That's
that
horrible.
was one of the reasons why Martin Luther. That was one of the things that drove Martin Luther to take and to nail the 95 Thesis on the door of Wittenberg and to started the Reformation was because of the selling of indulgences grieved him so much that basically you were saying, hey, if you give us money, you can go sin all you want. And so that really plays into that idea of I'm going to make a pact with the devil, but I'll give the church money, and then the Virgin Mary will ride in on a pink horse unicorn and save me. Okay, and come
So
on,
sin to the max.
she's got to come in on a My Little Pony. But
So send to the max.
exactly,
I can.
exactly. It's a way to excuse your
Yeah,
sin.
and I think that's where a lot of that came from. Is like it's always somebody in distress, somebody who's made a terrible life decision, and they're reaping the consequences of their choices, and so they're like, oh well, obviously this person must have done something bad. Are they a witch? Are they made some kind of bad arrangement, and they're just reaping what they've.
So-
Because almost there's never
Another thing about talking about witches, especially in the Middle Ages, most witches were just really smart women that wanted to advance science. And the church was like, that's devil's
Well, and I
worship.
think, and there
It's
was
like,
a lot of
no, that's
Kinda like
herbal.
the,
That's herbal medicine, is what it is.
Yeah, or just they
it-
just wanted women to be stupid, which is not what God says. But
No,
anyways,
God definitely does not say that.
He does not.
But along those lines, though, I mean, that really, I had a thought a minute ago. It just went out my head. Brain fart. Anyway, so biblical answers for this idea. Okay, so let's get at that. So first of all, can you sell your soul to the devil, or can the devil steal your soul? Really, they're kind of the same concept, more or less. Jimmy's done some research.
ready.
Jimmy's done some biblical research.
Just a little bit. I read an article that had these 3 particular scriptures on it.
All right, go
in it.
to him, buddy.
Okay, so
read us what you got, and we'll take and go from there.
my handwriting is pretty bad, so I'm just going to open my app. But the first, basically, the concept that he's trying to make here is the devil doesn't collect souls,
That's true.
just in general.
Yes,
He doesn't have the ability to take your soul
that's
from you.
correct.
Okay, and because if you're not saved, if you don't believe, he doesn't need to anyway. Right?
Well, yes, in a sense, okay, because Jesus makes the thing, which I think is what you're fixing to go to. Go ahead and read that John passage. That's where you're going, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and
that's-
read that, and we'll talk about it real quick.
Okay. It's John 3:18. And it says, now these are Jesus' words. It's
Yes.
in red, so.
Technically, shouldn't the whole Bible be in red since it's all the Word of God?
Yeah, I know. It was funny. It was funny. John 3:18. It says, "Whoever believes in him is not condemned, But whoever does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only Son of God.
Okay, that's not the one I thought you were going to.
It's the one I found.
No, that's fine. But Jesus is talking to the Pharisees, and I can't remember the exact passage off the top of my head. Maybe one of you guys can look it up. But
You said it's in John?
yeah, just search "your father the devil." That should give it to you. But Jesus is talking to the Pharisees, and he said, "You are of your father the devil." Okay, and the thing is, though, is this you got to understand is. That doesn't mean that their souls belong to Satan, okay? Because a lot of times I think that when people take an approach, this idea of your soul, they're like
John 8:44.
8:44.
You are of your father the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires.
Okay, so
That's the beginning of it.
yeah, I think it says he was a liar.
Yeah, it says he was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him.
Yeah.
When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies.
Yes. Okay. So he's talking to the Pharisees there, and the thing is, though, is Jesus isn't saying that their souls belong to Satan. Okay, he's talking about the concept we find in the scriptures of spiritual families. And so, if you're an unbeliever, your spiritual family is this family of Satan. If you have trusted in Christ as your Savior, the Bible says that God reconciles you to Himself and adopts you as His child. Okay, so you are transferred to the spiritual family of God. Okay, and so that's why this idea of we're all God's children, that's not true. Biblically, that's not true. We're all God's creation, yes. Okay, but there's two different spiritual families according to Jesus in this world. You're either of your father, the devil, or you're of the Father, Heavenly Father, God. But that doesn't mean that Satan owns your soul. Okay, that's a totally different thing. Because again, we have to remember what we've already talked about. Satan doesn't rule hell. He's not in charge of judging people. Okay, he's not in charge of punishing people for eternity. All of that is made up gobbledygook. Okay?
He doesn't have the power to do that.
He doesn't have the power to do any of that. And honestly, I think a lot of that is stuff that Satan has pushed himself and propagated himself to make people more scared of him than they really should be.
That's what the article. That's what the article says. The one that I read.
Yeah.
It says that the devil has attempted, and because he's the king of lies,
yeah,
he's lied to everyone and made everyone think that he is more powerful than he really is.
Exactly. And I think what he tries to do too is to rob some of the actual fear that people should have of God from God and apply it to himself. Because that's really what he wants to do. In the first place, that was one of the reasons why he sinned. He wanted to exalt himself above God.
Yeah. Well, in Revelation, we've been going through Revelation. Yeah. He mimics God, or tries to, at every turn.
Exactly. And so that's the first thing. Remember, he has no ability to take souls and drag them to hell. I don't know if how many of you guys ever watched the movie Ghost? I know I'm going old school because I'm old. Okay, but in the movie Ghost,
we are all under the age of 40.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in the movie Ghost, there's these dark things that are trying to take and get him. Okay, and the implication is they are demons who drag people down to hell. Okay, and so that idea that demons drag you down to hell, that's a farce. Okay, it's not biblical in any way, shape, or form. At the best, we talked a little bit about that. I think where it comes from, most likely from Hades in the Greek mythology,
it's a popular idea as well.
It's a very popular idea.
Demons drag you to hell. I mean, there's another movie like a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Drag Me to Hell. It's the same principle. It's probably just pulling off Ghost.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Beelzebub has a devil set aside for me. Okay, no, he doesn't. Okay, because that's not how it's going to play out in the end. Okay, at the end, he's going to be cast into hell. They're going to be cast into hell, into the lake of fire.
Yeah,
okay?
and a lot of people don't understand that Satan doesn't want to be in hell.
Yeah, in any way, shape, or form. It is a place of punishment designed for him forever. He doesn't want to go there. Okay, and so the question then comes about who does your soul belong to? And I think that's really where we come to the answer to this whole entire question and resolve this. Okay, so Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 4. This is God saying this. I'll go back to verse 3 because it talks about God here. It says, "As I live, declares the Lord God, this proverb shall no more be used by you in Israel. Behold, all souls are mine. The soul of the Father as well as the soul of the Son is mine. The soul who sins shall die." So God's making a claim here in this passage that your soul belongs to him. Okay? It's his. All right, he's the one who gave it to you in the first place. And so it belongs to him regardless of whether you've trusted in Christ as your Savior and been reconciled to him or not. It's still his. And so for you to be able to sell it, for one, that implies that you have ownership of it, which you do not. Okay? And so you can't do that. And for the devil to take and steal it, that means he has to be more powerful than God to snatch it out of God's hand, which he is not.
More powerful or equally as powerful.
Or equally as powerful, which he is not.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's impossible. Okay? And so all these stories that we've heard and stuff like that, they may sound interesting maybe.
Really good for fiction.
Really good for fiction. Okay? Maybe
a lot of video games have a
great
concept
for
of
a blues song, maybe. I don't know, but you know,
I know. It's a really cool fake fiction story idea, you know. But it
has origins far
but it has no biblical basis and
whatsoever.
I think it was an idea that like all the way back then, way back in the day, is this idea, and then people who like entertainment got a hold of it and turned it into something else.
That's what we've done so much in our society. I mean, even like the idea that Satan controls hell and rules hell. I mean, that's really honestly one of the reasons why we call this cartoon theology, is because of all the cartoon depictions of that. You know, and so exactly. You know, whether it's music or whether it's the movies or whether it's some play or something like that or just a book of fiction, you know, that's exactly, you know, because I just got done listening to a lot of audiobooks, but I listened to one very well written, but in the book it's set like in like the 1800s and maybe even earlier than that, maybe in the 1600s, but because the East Indian Company is still actively doing their thing in Indonesia. And supposedly these people are being plagued by this demon on this ship. They're not. Okay, it's all a farce.
They all have scurvy.
They all have horrible hangnails. No, it's actually this. Well, I don't want to take and spoil the plot in case you ever read it, but it's not. It's a fake. It's like a Scooby-Doo mystery. Okay, it's the Scooby-Doo mystery. It's not really a monster.
Well,
okay, it's Mr. Jenkins. Okay,
I got some interesting lore on that, but we won't do that in the video.
Yeah. Anyways, we're not talking about Scooby and Shaggy's weed problem.
That's not what I'm talking about. There's an episode of Supernatural where they get sucked into the cartoon and real monsters follow them.
Wow. Oh man, that's how you know that show needed to end about a season or two before that.
It gets repetitive. They've basically played all the monsters, angels, and demons stories out, and now they were doing some of the same stories with different names, and it's like 13th season of this, huh? Same old. Hey, Sam.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so yeah, biblically that's a goofy idea because your soul's not yours. Your soul's not yours. You can't make a pact with the devil to take to give your soul to him. You can't do that. It's not yours to barter with. Which also brings us back to the point of, you know, hey, recognize the fact that God's your creator and he's the one who gave you your soul in the first place. That should motivate you to take and to seek God and to pursue him.
Absolutely. It's not yours, but you can recognize that it's not yours.
Exactly.
That's what Romans 10:9-10 says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's another verse.
All right.
Boom. Got it.
Proud of you.
The Bible.
Way to go.
All right. Bible. Yeah.
Woo!
Good research. Woo-hoo. Jesus.
That was like the worst cheer from you.
That's the end.